Welcome to Marvel Maniac and MCU After Show. This is your host, Eric Cicada, aka Mr. Honest, back with you on Christmas Eve today to discuss another awesome episode of Marvel's What If. This show, I'm telling you, I might be underrated. I don't know. I'm going to mention the cancellation every episode because each new episode I'm like, why are they canceling this? This is a great show. It just must not be a lot of people caught on to it. What are your thoughts on the show? MarvelManiacPod@gmail.com. The season is a third of the way done, a little bit more. So what do you think so far? I'm interested in your take. It will be featured on the show. It might be. Like, if you don't want it to be, it doesn't have to be. Anyway, what if the Red Guardian stopped the Winter Soldier? That's our episode title, and yeah, this is like the buddy cop movie of the What If episode / the MCU. And just when I was thinking that, they got in a car, and I'm like, this is a buddy cop road trip type movie type deal. Straight man. We got the Winter Soldier, who is completely under his spell, and we have Alexei, the Red Guardian, surrogate father to Natasha Romanoff and Yelena Belova. And it's cool to see him kind of in the hero's role / also main character slot. And another thing, Bucky, he's been pulled out in What If a couple times. The last time was, I believe, when they had to take down Peter Quill because he came back to Earth as a kid and was destroying everything. And Bucky almost took the shot, but he didn't. Howard got through to him then, and it broke him of being the Winter Soldier, so he abandoned his mission. In this episode, somewhat similar, just over the course of the episode, we get to see what a little bit of a new friendship can do to a brainwashed super soldier. And Alexei is clumsy, he's silly, he's barbaric, but he has a giant heart. And that says a lot, that big heart can speak to and through Bucky by the end of this episode and confidently tell him he's a good person. And I like the camaraderie between these two. Of course, it starts with a rivalry, though. December 16th, 1991 was the night that Bucky killed Tony Stark's parents, the Starks. Even at the very beginning, we get to see a silhouette of two people fighting over a gun. And we know that's Captain America, right? Well, obviously not. We looked at the episode title and we know it's the Red Guardian. And from that beginning moment, I do believe that this is going to be the end of the episode. However, it cuts to this literally 4 to 6 minutes later within this episode. I would say that the Red Guardian / Alexei has so much pride that he's almost a purely good person depending on what he's assigned to or not to do. He has a good heart, and we already even said that. And it's kind of great to see these two characters together. I know they're going to be in the Thunderbolts together, these two. And I wonder if there's some hints towards a camaraderie / friendship in that show. Movie. I think that will be really cool. I like their dynamic. Like I said, buddy cop movie. But the chemistry might not have been there. That's the thing. But the chemistry was there. These two characters are perfect together. It's almost like Captain America and the Winter Soldier, except we got another Captain America who just so happens to be the Red freaking Guardian. And in Black Widow, when he's talking about his glory days, he says he fought Captain America. I don't know where he got that. I don't know why he thinks that. But he is actually pretty truthfully a big hero. And for some reason, a little bit of the Black Widow movie made me think he was kind of a fake, a hack. And he actually isn't. He's got the super soldier serum. He's strong. He's got a good head on his shoulders, despite his wackiness and unpredictableness, which actually comes into play at the end of the episode. I think he's one of the greatest characters we have right now in the MCU for comedy and action. And I honestly can't wait for the Thunderbolts. This episode made me really excited for that movie. So Red Guardian is tasked with like some data thing, and Dreykov puts the Winter Soldier on the job, and like Alexei hates this. He's Hydra scum. He doesn't say that exactly, something like that, and he's very jealous. So what does he do? He follows the Winter Soldier to his mission. He's about to kill Howard Stark and Mrs. Stark, and guess who comes and saves the day? Yeah, we got a little bit of a fight slash standoff between the Winter Soldier and Red Guardian. He doesn't want them to kill them, and all of a sudden the cops are showing up, so they have to run, and thus spinning this universe into a new direction that you can only wonder where it'll end. Well, where it does end when the Avengers are teaming up in New York to fight the Chitauri in Avengers 1. I love what they do with that at the end. I'll talk about it in a second. I think that was really funny. I really like that. Dreykov refers to everyone as all family, like him and Bucky and Dreykov, and that's just his way of kind of getting Red Guardian off his butt. And Red Guardian would like to believe that he is the hero of Russia and the first super soldier. He takes a lot of pride in what he does. So he's not just some hack. He's somebody who believes in justice and the right to act on it and being able to be a hero. And I think he truly is most likely really inspired by Captain America. And I mean him himself as a character, because he, the way he talks about Cap and Black Widow, he really admires him. So I just wonder that maybe him in his prime days as the Red Guardian, he actually kind of like worshipped Cap a little bit for his sacrifice and the heroic acts he had on the world before he went into the ocean. This is just part where we get side by side shots of the Winter Soldier and Red Guardian like getting ready / Bucky being woken up / Alexei making his way to his destination. I like the lined up shots. Animation in the show is pretty great. Like they make it so it's kind of 3-dimensional. So like if you take a glance at it, it looks like a movie. It looks like one of the movies, just with like maybe some lower graphic settings. But this is all animation these people are working their butts off on, and I really like it. So props to the animators. The Red Guardian at the end of the Starks' lives, if they died, it would have been a little more dark. But he brings such lightheartedness to a symbolic, memorable, destructive moment in our mainline MCU when this truth is actually revealed of what happens. The way the Red Guardian intervenes is just so funny, and he kind of rolls into the scene and stops it from happening. And I just got to say, like, that's great. And then I just love that he saves their lives. I'm repeating this, but it's key. It shows a lot of like about who Red Guardian is, trying to prove himself, going out of his way to see if Bucky can even. He's jealous of Bucky, so he's kind of going there out of jealousy too. But he ruins the mission. They get some of the super soldier serum, but some of it's destroyed. And who's on their trail but Bill Foster from Ant-Man and the Wasp? It's revealed that he has his Ant-Man suit, and he likes going giant, we know from the movie. So he is chasing them at one point as Giant Man, and Bucky's like shooting, and he's taking out everybody. I think there's other people chasing him at that point. However, it's just such a good scene when Alexei throws his shield straight in the face of Foster, jumps up on the Giant Man, knocks him down like a giant tree in the forest. And okay, Alexei's got some skills. Like I dig it. I gotta say, they bring Bill Foster back quite often for him only having a not super significant role. Not a big deal, but like in the MCU itself, he has a big role in Ant-Man and the Wasp. He's kind of like the creator of the protagonist. In a sense, he's trying to help Ghost stop phasing in and out of time because she's in extreme pain. It's really leading me to believe that he's going to play some part in upcoming movies. Most likely the Thunderbolts. I would say that we will see Bill Foster in the Thunderbolts. I predict that. Is it Bill Foster? I know him as Foster. Bill Foster sounds just so right. You get certain moments just like Bucky and the Red Guardian going out to eat, and Red Guardian just like screaming and screaming justice at the poor fast food worker who's just trying to do her job while they're being chased by Foster. And after they take him down, Bucky has the option to jump this cliff with the car, and he tries, and then it cuts to the car being completely destroyed. But they're okay because they're both super soldiers. They then go to a vet, like a closed vet, to patch up their wounds, Bucky especially. Nice moment for our characters to get to know each other a little bit, and we know that Bucky just completely forgets who he is. But it's amazing in this episode what the Red Guardian can do to actually get Bucky out of that mindset, where we almost think that this is the timeline where Bucky is saved completely by the Red Guardian. However, as we know at the end of the episode, Bucky's losing this memory, and it's just so sad because he is friends with Alexei. He gets demanded by Dreykov to kill Alexei, and he doesn't want to do it. He's going to fail his mission for the guy because he even calls Red Guardian Alexei a good man. And I just love that. I just love seeing characters interact that you don't expect. I love when they bring parts of movies and different aspects to things to really show the multiverse can bend and twist in so many different ways, similar to Bill Foster being around for this. Like, he might have been around in the Sacred Timeline, but I don't know. Like, this is just an original story based off of a very dark moment, and it's the most lighthearted episode yet of the show. This season, at least, maybe overall. That lightheartedness that Red Guardian brings is awesome. And I really think they did this episode to get us a little hype / prepped for the Thunderbolts. And same thing with the last episode, where there's a giant Hulk and Anthony Mackie's Captain America is talking him down and being reasonable, and it actually works. Like, he's going to be facing a Hulk in his movie. So it seems like they're testing ground / foreshadowing in this season, which is cool. And I like when Bucky gets down on himself. Alexei says, "You are a strong man with a big brain." And I think that's the moment that completely sold Bucky on Red Guardian being a decent guy. He even has Bucky close his eyes at 1 minute and helps him see Coney Island, his past. They had like extra time together. I mean, like, Bucky could break this thing. Like, if What If has shown us anything, is Bucky can break this thing, and that's why the Hydra people get him back and put him under so fast. They have to reprogram him almost every time, especially something like this where he probably is soon to close remembering Steve Rogers because of the memories coming back, and yet they put him under the Winter Soldier protocol. Like, gosh, that's sad. There's part where they go to Vegas, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm like a little bit confused about what was going on there. I'm also not sure if it was supposed to be a younger version of Jebediah Stone from Iron Man 1. It looked like him, and he kind of had some vibes of that character. Although I'm not sure. Can you guys help me out? MarvelManiacPod@gmail.com. Let me know who that was. He seemed to have a big impact on the story, and it's not that my mind is blanking. I just didn't understand who he was while watching it. So they come here to deal with him, and so the Red Room starts to attack when they realize that the Winter Soldiers are complying and following through with his orders. And Bill Foster's still on the run, and in the casino, by the way, they're in Las Vegas, an epic chase scene. I like the locations they visit in this episode. The Watcher reminds us in the end, the fight is never the point. It's your friendships that chase the course of history. I think I'm going to change. And I like that. I think that's pretty cool. Friendship outbeats every evil. Power of friendship. Power of unlikely friends. Power of buddy cop type movie. The power of another great episode of What If. At the end, Bucky has to go back into the Winter Soldier. And that's sad, bittersweet. However, it's good to see in this series how close Bucky is to really remembering who he is so many times, and he keeps missing the boat. I'm glad he finally gets out of it eventually, at the cost of what happens in this episode with the Starks. So I wonder what this universe turns into with the Starks being alive. I mean, how much responsibility will Tony take in the business if his father's still running it for another 20 years up until the pretty much events of Iron Man, right? So I like that. I'm interested in that. That's one of the sad things we don't get, except with like Captain Carter, who I don't know if we'll see this season. I'm wearing my Captain Carter shirt. I hope we see her at all. I remember some of the final episode titles definitely reflect on, like, it seems to me like they're going to be like episodes about What If, like the story of What If, like the Guardians of the Multiverse, Captain Carter, kind of knowing about it also. I'm excited to see that come to full circle. If they don't do it, I might be a little disappointed, but the show's been good so far. We're three episodes in. So Alexei moves and gets into hiding thanks to the Winter Soldier, and he's like a gym coach in America. But who comes to track him down? Bill Foster. What does he bring him? His shield. Yes, he asks Alexei for help. Basically, is going to make him an Avenger. And that's exactly how we end the episode, as the classic dun, 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 the Avengers theme. They're all circling up, surrounding each other, and then Lexi comes in and just like squishes in the picture. That's funny. This is a good timeline, comedic timeline. Somehow, some way, I would like to see a sequel to this episode someday. I think this show's going to get canceled. Multiverse Saga will end. People will want more What If. They'll come back to it when some of the bigger stories, like, I don't know, the Avengers assembling, actually happen, because we got to see that yesterday in What If instead of in a movie for the first time. What If is a great show. I'll say it every day. Okay, well, I mean, that's pretty much it for this episode. I take so many notes, just like beat by beat, and I'm like skimming through, and I'm like, oh, I covered that whole page without even looking at it. Humble brag. This has been What If the Red Guardian stopped the Winter Soldier, in parentheses, from killing the Starks. This was, I won't say it's my favorite episode. I like them all evenly. I really just love this show. So I want to let you know that we'll be back tomorrow on Christmas Day. I know it's Christmas Eve. I know you got a lot going on. You might not be listening to this on Christmas Eve. You might be listening to it later on somewhere down the road. Or you're a time traveler. You are in like July of this year. You're looking into the future. Maybe you're me. And then you're realizing, oh man, he's already on this episode. Oh, we're going to do this podcast forever. The podcast hasn't been canceled at the very least. I would love your feedback. MarvelManiacPod at gmail.com. If you'd like to contribute to the show, there's a tip jar in the About section. Never necessary, always appreciated. Tomorrow, I believe, is the one episode I remember because I wanted to see what was on Christmas. Howard the Duck gets married. What if Howard the Duck got married? Something like that. I need to do a little more research on Howard the Duck. I like him. He's been around in a little bit, like post-credit scenes and little quick shots. And even at the Battle of New York, there's shots of him in the background fighting. So he's a kind of significant character on the back burner who, I don't know if they'll bring him into the movies, like, prominently, but you never know. You never know. Depends on I really feel like they use What If to gauge fan excitement about certain characters. And I think what they're going to find out is Shang-Chi is very underutilized so far in the MCU. And we need a lot more from him. I want to see a trilogy. At least. So today you have the best Christmas Eve of your life. If you're lonely today, just have a nice relaxing day and treat yourself to comfort. Don't be sad. You're a strong person. Just like Lexi would say, something like that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending your holidays with me. Until tomorrow on Christmas Day, Avengers, disassemble.